You and I have been working together for 8 years, and you love talking to me on your smartphone. I don't really like using the phone all that much, but I still do it occasionally. Are there people out there who aren't using their smartphone to make calls at all?
When we're looking at traditional phone calls, so those which are dialed straight from the phone, then as of the end of this year, we think 26% of people with a smartphone won't make any traditional calls in a given week. So that's quite an increase from last year, 23%, and from 2012, the number was about just 11% off a much smaller base.
Okay, so 11% not making calls in a week to 26. That's more than doubled. That's a big historical trend. Any demographic slice on this?
Yeah, so the group which is using voice least is actually the 18 to 24-year-olds. So almost a third of this age group is not making traditional voice calls in a given week.
Wow, fairly obvious question. Why?
Well, there are lots of good reasons as to why that has happened. And a key thing is it's not that they've stopped communicating, they're just using other ways of communicating. And when we first started using mobile phones, the telephone call, traditional call, was the only thing to do. And over the last decade, there's been a massive escalation of options. So we've got social networks, we've got instant messages, we have mobile email, we still use text messaging a lot. In fact, we also have alternatives to traditional voice, such as voice over IP, where the call goes over the data connection. And then linked to that, there are also some people who do video calls rather than standard voice calls or VoIP calls at all.
Now, when I look at this, though, when I sort of think about the whole world of smartphones, I know that in many countries, the number of minutes of smartphone use or voice calls, traditional voice calls, are pretty stable. Given that some people are calling less, what does that say about the rest of us?
Yeah, so it seems quite contradictory that we've got less and less people making calls. So what is happening is those who do make calls are calling more than ever before. One of the reasons for this is the cost of mobile calling is falling, and a lot of people who have contracts have all-you-can-eat calls packages.
Okay, this is great. I've now been officially given permission to never return one of your cell phone calls again, and I look forward to that.
I don't even know your number.